Hello, fellow Smashers. This is FS Smash. I would like to bring you attention to this recent Fire Emblem Three Houses 9-minute gameplay from Spain gameplay. This is just a showcase of some gameplay we have seen before, but there are some interesting things we have yet to see from the various gaming networks like IGN, GameSpot, and Polygon. Demo gameplay of Blue Lions dealing with one of the ventures, but in this particular showcase, we see many different aspects that we haven't seen before, so I'm going to be doing a quick run through of some things we haven't seen before. So without further ado, let's begin. And also, on one key note is I'm going to have this video on mute but have background music. The reason why is because this video is in Spanish, so I doubt the majority of you would understand what's going on. So right here, we can see some different animals like the owl that we've seen before. We also see a pet dog there, which is pretty cool. We also see some quests saying, head to battle on Megro Way. Maybe this could be something like the adventure. We're not really sure. We can also see the time of day, Rondet Rain Moon, whether that's the name of the week, we're not really sure. We can see the professor level as well. Here we see various parts of the map we have yet to see in different gameplay. We can see many of the different castle towers, which aren't likely visitable, but you likely can't visit them, but they're mostly just there for decor. Here we're actually in the audience chamber, which looks to be where you first initially meet Ria, and you can see here we're heading into probably Ria's chambers, which it is named as the advisor's room. We can see Ria's advisor. I don't exactly remember the name, but here we can see Ria. Ria does have some English dialogue, and she does talk to Bile saying, you must be rather bewildered by the power that was hidden within. The dialogue is skipped here, but you can actually hear a voice over the commentator who is speaking Spanish. But it's very faint, and I thought you would want to hear it because you can't really hear it. I would suggest you, again, check the gameplay yourself. Here we see another interesting thing. Here we see Ria actually being available as a tutor to help you tutor based you solely as Byleth as a professor. She's able to help increase your sword rank, your gauntlet rank, your reason, and faith magic, which is pretty cool. She acts like kind of like a professor trainer, and then you can train your students afterwards, which is pretty cool. So you increase Byleth's level solely, or professor level solely. It also seems to take a chunk of your venture. It also seems to take a chunk of your professor gauge as well. Here we see the fast travel features on the map. We can see the various characters that you can possibly have dialogues with. We can see that there are different in the corner. We can see people, facilities. This is nothing really new. We've seen this before. Here we see Gerald, Rodgu, I believe that's how you say it, and Catherine. They seem to have hourglasses next to their names, suggesting they are limited time events you need to visit in that day. Otherwise, they're unavailable for quite some time. So maybe you would want to visit them as soon as possible, or maybe they have something they want to talk to you about. Here we see some pretty interesting characters. Here we see Cyril, which people have been speculating that it looks to be Claude's brother, younger brother, but people have said that the eyes don't match and the skin tone doesn't seem to match. But we do see Felix. Cyril might be a child, maybe brother of one of the nobles who are in the school. People are saying it's Claude, but I don't really see it as being Claude. Here we see some different stuff. Here we see give two of your students some herbs, suggesting that we could give, we might have fetch quests which can give us rewards. We've seen this before in the Three House gameplay. And here we can see Lysa and Hilda, who both obviously have Golden Deer crest over them, suggesting that these are characters from Golden Deer, obviously. So I'm guessing the Byleth has chosen a different type of house to go with. And with here we can see Byleth going up to Lysif and talking to her. And interesting here is we can see Eldegard as being able to go into the Lord class as an intermediate class, showcasing that we can still have the main lords of each house spec into their own specific line of classes. So that's still cool. Here you can see Eldegard as an archer, and wow, that's something, that's for sure. Here we see Ingrid activate Tempest Lance, which was in Echoes combat art, which seems to add 10 might and around 15 accuracy on top of your base stats. Here we see some more interior look at the Officers Academy. Here we can see going into the garden, and here we can see the Amiibo gazebo, which is pretty interesting. So it looks like Amiibos will actually have a functionality in Fire Emblem Three Houses, which is pretty cool. So they aren't going to be useless. Maybe we can summon some rare stuff from Marth, Ike, Robin, Corn, who knows what the potential is endless, to say the least. Here we see a different character in the stable occupants. Here we can see some character named Thomas, looks to be an old man, but we're not really sure who he is. He might be another teacher in the academy, but as far as I know, we have yet to see this character in any really big Famitsu or article talk about. So here we can see some stuff we yet to see as of late. So here we can see the fast travel working in action, and it seems to operate pretty damn fast, which is pretty impressive. Unless they do some cuts, that's pretty cool. Here I believe we're going to be approaching Leista. Oops. Here we can see it's Leona's birthday. You have some options you can do with Leona. You can host a tea party, which we've seen in the Famitsu article. You can give flowers to increase your affinity with, or you can do nothing. Here we can see Byleth talking to Leista about recruiting her. And you go through a slight dialogue with her, but if you don't meet the requirements for her to actually want to join your house, she will refuse your offer. You, as the professor, Byleth, have to have certain requirements or following stats to be able to recruit some students. For example, Leista would prefer that you would have higher magic and faith, and when you get said experience, you can try recruiting this unit again. So it looks like you can recruit different units from different houses without having that harsh of a penalty. You can recruit different students, and they will seem to follow you throughout the entirety of your playthrough, which is pretty cool. The number of students is unclear, but people have speculated it's around 2 students. Here we see some pretty interesting stuff. We have yet to see the actual character profile or your battle forecast for your units. Here you can see Dudu's actual stats. You can see the level, HP, XP, their attack, hit, and crit. You can see their attack speed, other things like that. You also have PRT and RSL, which I'm not really sure what they are. You can see the different stats, their abilities lined at the bottom. You can see their skill levels, and you can see a various amount of things. Also, concoctions are back in Fire Emblem Three Houses, which is pretty cool. And it seems like you have some sort of tab you can do with your inventory. You can switch between 3 different pages from the looks of it. You can look at the top right corner, you can see inventory, ZL, and ZR. So just suggesting you can see different stuff about your character, maybe their affinities, other things like that. Now this is pretty creepy. I prefer to slay my enemies without having to lay a finger on them. With that kind of power, why would I bother with normal weapons? By focusing on reason, I can be a great magic user. Okay Hubert, whatever you say. Holy crap, he is kind of, you know, ugh. I still think he kills everyone. Here we can see some results from training your students, which is pretty cool. Here we can see some stuff that Fernand had learned. Shatter Slash, we have yet to see that combi art, and we also see Lance Prowess level 3. Whether that affects hit rate or dodge is yet to be seen. Here you can see the main menu when you start a battle. This menu will prop up before you actually start the battle. You can do different things like support. You can look at the map, look at your units, inventory, save. You can look at the system. You go on a marketplace, which might be a bit more costly since you are having to, you know, buy on the spot, which is pretty cool. So it gives you, you know, some mix. Maybe you can't get this feature when you are in higher difficulty, who knows? And you can also quit, which most likely backs you out of the battle. Here we see some pretty cool camera angles that we have yet to see in other gameplay. We have seen other gameplay show some angles. We have yet to see them actually show the front profile, which is pretty cool. You can see all their units, and they all seem to be in a triangle formation from the start, which is pretty cool. Some units, depending on the move type, have different arrangements. So you can also see that the Pegasus are aligned in some sort of like hexagon formation and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Here we see something really cool. We can see the battle forecast through looking on, hovering a cursor over the King of Beasts. Here we can see that the King of Beasts is currently targeting a bandit who can deal 19 damage and has an 87% hit, and also sees the portrait of said bandit with a target sign, suggesting that this King of Beasts will attack that unit. We can also see some various things like their HP bar with the 2 red crystals signifying they have 2 extra health bar. You can see their faction, their weapon, some sort of shield mechanic, shield icon, and a stealable icon. And an interesting bit here, you can hover over your own unit or any other enemy units. You can see what unit is getting targeted. Obviously here you can see that the King of Beasts plans to attack the bandit, which is pretty neat. You can see battle forecast in that way. And the bandit can deal 8 damage while having 64% chance to hit that the crest dragon. Sorry, my apologies, the King of Beasts. Here we see some more cool angles of the different battalions and the characters that are going with them. And that seems to be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video and dealing with my shenanigans of examining some footage with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. please check out my other videos, like my new series that I'm currently running is XX amount of days until Fire Emblem Three Houses releases. I'll be covering a variety amount of topics regarding Fire Emblem Three Houses, discussing things till the game's ultimate release. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment down below what you think about this whole new news and stuff, and subscribe for more Fire Emblem Three Houses content. I'll see you fellow Smashers in the next battle.